massacre played out exactly how Vitaly predicted.
Your wife predicted you would say what?
Believe it or not, Josephine predicted the whole thing.
What if a movie from more than 10 years ago predicted what is happening with regard to AI and Hollywood right now? Tonight, I'd like to take you back not too far, just over a decade, to a film that really didn't make a huge splash at the time, but quietly forecast a tidal wave.
We want to scan you, all of you, your body, your face, your emotions, your laughter, your tears. We want to sample you, preserve you, and we want to own this thing called Robin Wright.
Once they sample you and you're in their computer, there's no way back. The studio owns the character.
What character?
The one that used to be the actor.
So, welcome to Wine O'Clock Wisdom. I'm Bella St. John. And here is where we sort of pour a glass of whatever takes your fancy, lean back and gently tug at the threads of our shared reality. So what is this movie I mentioned? It's called The Congress, and it stars the Robin Wright, the actress from Forrest Gump. And it might just have seen our future more clearly than we did at the time, and maybe even foretold what is happening in Hollywood with regard to AI right now. So The Congress was in 2013, and it stars Robin Wright playing a version of herself who agrees to let a film studio scan her entire essence. Her likeness, her voice, her emotions, and her youth are digitized so that the studio can own and use her image forever.
Come on, give me a big laugh. Big laugh, yeah. Okay.
Well, in 2013, that was science fiction. In 2025, it's actually called AI modeling or deepfakes or digital doubles, and that's not fiction anymore. 2013, we didn't have ChatGPT. There were no voice clones or AI-generated influencers who don't actually exist, or personalized avatars. Facial recognition was a novelty. Instagram was still all about filters, remember that? TikTok didn't exist. So imagine how bold it was back then to explore the idea that you could sell yourself. Not your time, not your talent, but your essence, yourself. And so now, we're not just talking about it, we're negotiating contracts around it. Studios have started doing it, brands are experimenting with it. Some people welcome it, and some people not so much. But what if somebody said, let us scan you? We want to scan your voice. We want to scan your expressions, your mannerisms. We'll make you perfect. We'll make you marketable. We'll make you eternal. And you'll never have to show up in person again. It's tempting, right? Yeah. We'll make you eternal. You never have to show up anywhere again. We can use your image, your voice, and your brand. But here's the question. If you sell your digital self, what happens to your real one? Are you more free or are you more fragmented? And who decides what you become once you're no longer the you who's controlling you? The Congress, which, by the way, I love this movie, but the endings are, so I can sort of, take or leave the ending. But as for the rest of it, I think it is very profound. And the Congress doesn't stop with scanned identities. It eventually takes viewers into a psychedelic world. And this is where it's not exactly my cup of tea, but where people live in a dreamlike augmented reality. hiding from pain or aging or truth. But what if that's the real prophecy? A world where the digital becomes more appealing than the physical, where curated illusion is safer than the mess of authenticity, where we choose comfort over connection. We're already seeing the early signs. Avatars, filters, AI friends, escapist virtual faces. I mean, I'm not too proud to say I use filters and sometimes AI over my photos, but that, I think there's a limit to when we then hand over our essence of what we say and how we show up. When we hand that over to AI, you're no longer then interacting with the actual person. I mean, yes, we all should be very proud of exactly how we appear. I don't mind admitting that I will put filters over photos. But when it comes to what comes out of me, that's me. And the question is not whether we can do it. We know we can do it. The question is, should we?
But should we enter?
Should we continue with our little story?
Yeah, but should we though?
So, I'm going to leave you with a question as you sip your glass of your liquid of whatever is in your glass. Ask yourself, what parts of you are already digital? And who gets to decide what it becomes or how it evolves? We've seen people animate antique photos. And I was just watching a video the other day. I was scrolling through, and there was a video supposedly of a message from Louise Hay, amazing woman who's dearly departed, and it started with, if you can do so and so $1 million, and it was really obvious that this was an AI version of Louise Hay. I don't know, I have some challenges with that. I don't have a challenge if you're going to do an AI photo, because that's just like a physical representation and it's no different than a painting, for instance. But once you start handing over your essence, once you start handing over your mannerisms, handing over what the thoughts that come out of your mouth to AI, I don't know. My impression is that The Congress, the film, isn't just a film. It's a quiet warning.
Slowly turns to emptiness. Blankness.
Maybe a meditation on the cost of immortality, if it's done through AI, for instance. And so that's what I'd like you to just consider. What parts of you in the big wide world are already digital? How do you feel about that? And how would you feel if your entire essence was now handed over to AI? So, until next time, stay real, stay curious, and always ask, what if?
What if this is all there is to our life?
What if we got arrested last night?
What if this is what I'm supposed to do with my life?
And then today I just stopped and I said, what if I don't want to be a shoe?